Welcome back, everybody. Our guest tonight is Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker. Governor, thank you for joining us tonight. Let's start with charter schools. You have proposed a plan to effectively lift the cap of 120 charter schools. This plan would allow 12 new charters every year in districts in the bottom 25% on standardized tests.
Right.
Why raise the cap?
The main reason for me is you have 37,000 kids on charter school waiting lists around the Commonwealth, most of which live in communities that are relatively low income and underperforming. And I just, as a parent who has 3 kids, I just don't think it's fair to leave so many kids in the Commonwealth without options that their parents believe would be good ones. And we have tons of evidence at this point that charter schools, especially charter schools in underperforming school districts, have made a huge difference for literally thousands of kids.
For a lot of people, they'll look at the college entry rates as some sort of comparison. In the Boston charter schools and Boston public schools, there's not that huge of a difference in college entry rates. So why would parents think that this is very important to have the option?
Well, I think there's a couple things going on there. One is I believe the Boston school system has upped their game to some extent in response to the presence of charter schools in the city, and that's a good thing. In fact, there was a story in the paper recently that talked about the fact that Jeremiah Burke had gone from one of the lowest performing schools, this is a traditional school, one of the lowest performing schools in the city of Boston, to one of the best performing. And if you looked at how they got there, they basically adopted what I would argue are many of the techniques and the approaches that charter schools have taken. Look, at the end of the day, I would like to give parents more choice. I think they're entitled to it, and I especially think we should do it for parents in low-income communities and underperforming school districts. But if one of the other collaterals that comes out of this is the schools around them get better, I mean, that's kind of a win-win for everybody, don't you think?
If we do raise the cap, should we hold charter schools more accountable for accepting and keeping English language learners, children with disabilities, underprivileged kids? Because at the current rate, they're not accepting those same students that the public schools are dealing with.
Yeah, you know, I was on the board of Phoenix, which is a charter school that operates in Chelsea, Lawrence, and Springfield. They only serve kids who've either dropped out of high school or are basically about to drop out. And their kids, for the most part, all pass the NCAS exam, and the vast majority of them have graduated from high school. So the notion that charter schools aren't willing to play in this space, I think, is misleading.
They are willing to, but the numbers show that they aren't doing it at the same rate as the traditional district. Should we hold them more accountable if we're raising the cap?
Well, one of the things, there are 2 things in our legislation that would help with this. One is if a community wants to go to an open enrollment process and basically put all the schools, including the charter schools, into that open enrollment process and have that be the process they use to determine where all the kids in their community go, that's in our legislation. They can choose to do that. The other thing that's in our legislation is a series of mechanisms that would give preferential treatment to English language learners and other kids who are having trouble learning. And the charter schools have basically said be happy to take that on.
Let's talk quickly about the big vote on November 17th, where the board is going to choose either staying with MCAS, going with Park.
There's a lot going on.
Or there is.
2 or 3 days of that week. Yeah.
So Park, MCAS, or sort of MCAS 2.0. What would you want them to see?
Well, I said all along that I really want Massachusetts to control its own destiny on this issue. I'm very troubled by the idea of kind of turning this whole thing over to the federal government. It's very far away, and who knows who's going to be in charge, and there's just a whole bunch of questions about it that I don't like very much. I also believe that Massachusetts has been a trailblazer for the better part of the past 20 years in education reform. We are a state that clearly lives by our wits. If you get a great education in Massachusetts, you can go places. If you don't, it's a problem. And I think on something like this, which is basically funded almost completely by state and local government as well, we need to control our own destiny. And I guess that means that I would probably be happier with an MCAS 2.0 approach than something that basically hitches our wagon to a federal proposal and a federal program.
Well, very interesting stuff. Governor Baker speaking with us earlier. We're going to have part 2 of that exclusive sit-down with the governor tomorrow night right here on MyTV 38.
And the governor defends a controversial part of his opioid legislation. Very interesting. But for right now, we're back here in 2 minutes.